what did you think of Randy today, and what were some of the factors that went into the decision to lift him when you did?
I thought Randy was good. I thought he was really good. I thought he did his job. I thought he got us to a point in the game where we were happy with. We had a rested bullpen. We got guys that we really liked, and it was pretty clean. Conforto got him, but I thought he was great.
What did you make of the series? A couple tight games Monday and today, and kind of the way.
Yeah, pretty much what we expected, right? I mean, I don't think there's a ton of surprises. Today came down to who capitalized on the opportunities that were there. Morium came in, did a great job to finish out Otani, and but we had a misplay and a walk that preceded Hernandez's swing, and they walked 6, and we couldn't overly capitalize more than we did the one Maudie at bat. So they gave us opportunities. We gave them a few opportunities. They just capitalized a little bit more.
That was sort of my next question, but the Teoscar home run, I imagine the 2 at-bats preceding that are kind of bigger than the home run itself.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, the homers are going to happen, and listen, let's don't minimize that. It's always easy out there, and guys earn their walks, and they're men, not machines. But the fact of the matter is that's what the game comes down to a lot of times, especially close games against good teams. So the comebacker on, and then the walk, and then now you put yourself in harm's way, and when you get harmed, and there's guys out there, now it's a little more damage, harder to come back from.
You're about halfway through this stretch of 26 games in 27 days. How do you feel like the pitching staff overall has navigated a busy couple of weeks?
They've done great. They've more than held their own. We've done, to AJ's point a little bit, we've, done our best we can to put the guys in the right spots, and for the most part, we've been rewarded for that, and they've pitched really well. And as far as the big picture, it's just the pitching, though, you were asking about. More of the pitching. Yeah, I think guys have done their part, and we've had some guys step up. It's good to see Morgan get out there today and come back and get his guy. It's a good sign. Reynolds just throwing the ball well. Yuki's throwing the ball well. So we're rounding out with different guys contributing than the 4 guys that we've used to bring games home with. So we've gotten more than every bit of what we could expect from Bergert, and Kolwick's done great. And like I said, Randy, he gets to right the 5th today against a tough team, and gets to the lineup twice, and leaves with the tie game. Done his part. Dylan, yesterday was really good, and Nick's been good overall for the most part. So pitching's held their own for sure.
What's the next step for Darvish?
For Darvish, looks like he's going to go to Arizona, and then I don't know whether it's at the complex or be his decision. Probably more likely the complex, but he'll get some form of simulated game.
Any clarity with the team?
No, not really. He has seen some specialists, and we do have a better idea of what we're dealing with. But that is also like certain things medically. There's no absolutes, right? You get different opinions, and Hack and our rehab guy, Scott Hacker, is phenomenal, and Rogo, our medical team, they're great. Again, uncharted. This is outside really of a baseball purview necessarily from historic injury, and so talking to a lot of doctors and experts, and they're putting a lot of time in, and guys have done a lot of rehab people, and it's just it's really a case by case scenario. So we've got our arms around what it is, and now just trying to figure out what it looks like, but taking the best steps we can for him to progress.
You touched on it a little bit, but it seemed like you had a plan that was going very well when you got a comebacker from Freeman there, from able to rest your bullpen, and then you were going to let Randy go through twice. How disappointing is it that it kind of just unraveled when it really seemed like everything was setting up for you to kind of navigate this game?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it goes, right? I mean, it's you can have a plan. If it goes well, fantastic. It's supposed to have gone well. Some days people feel like, and need to get rewarded when it does. When it doesn't, you go to plan B. I mean, that's the fact of the matter. I mean, the reality is, we had it lined up. The comebacker, okay, it happens. As I say, the walk, the homer, that's the big blow. But then Estrada held it right there. Yuki did his part. Let's give Yuki credit. Adam does his part. And they were able to piece it together and keep it at 2. So it's really as simple as that.
What did you find out about their pitching plans for today? Was that last night that you knew that?
I know they announced their starter last night.
Okay.
They didn't share any more of their plans with us
Oh,
beyond that.
but they did. You the starter.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I
got
didn't
the
see it
starter.
this morning.
Yeah, we got the starter last night. We were informed, and you know that young man did a really nice job. I don't want to butcher his name because I'm not good at pronunciations, but he threw it really well and gave them what they needed for 4 innings, and you know, he's got a nice arm.
What did you think of the way they were able to sort of piece it together, using Hernandez for 2 1/3 last night, and then basically throw a bullpen game at you?
No, I don't need to comment on how they run their bullpen. You know, we do our team, and you know, that's their decisions to make. So, as simple as that.